I'm Margaret Sutherland and I worked at Parklands for over 20 years.
I'm Pamela Wright. I am one of the community nurses. I started here when I was 13 in the pantry. So I've been here for nearly 18, 19 years.
I'm Corinne. I have been here for about 15 years.
I'm Linda Begg. I've been here for 15 years.
I'm Diane Mackenzie. I've been the community nurse with Parklands for 19 years, nearly 20 years.
I'm Caroline Gordon. I'm a carer and I've been here for 25 years.
I'm Alison Bain. I've been with Parklands since they were at Duthick House in 2013, and I do care and I do kitchen.
Well, I'm Beatrice Bell. I'm a social care worker in Parklands. I've been here since just over 9 years.
And I just loved it. And when the time came to retire, it was very sad. But a great job, great place to work.
You have a lot of long-serving employees.
Yes, we do.
What does it mean to you to have that kind of loyalty from them, Ron?
It's incredible. I didn't think that one of our keystones of success would be having so many people who work for so long in the care homes. I think it demonstrates, one is, we're very open and transparent about our values and people can relate to the values.
My name's Elaine Taylor and I'm the Operations Director for Parklands. The staff chose the values, so with 4 values, working together, professionalism, respect and trust, and a good place to work. So the staff really do live the values every day in their work, and I think that's a lot to do with the long-serving staff.
We're very open and transparent about the work that we do, and it's very important that, as one of our values is a good place to work, that people have fun when they're working. We had a very good fete to celebrate our 30th anniversary, and the one thing that hit me was all the staff were out, and when the music started, all the staff were singing along to the songs, and I thought they didn't feel inhibited, they didn't feel that they couldn't do it, they just did it. It was spontaneous, and I thought, how can you try and capture that? You can't. It just happens.
Hi, I'm Liz Campbell and I'm a shift leader in Burrenbank.
Hi, I'm Mary George. I'm a shift leader in Parklands.
I started in Parklands 30 years ago. I was here for the official opening of Parklands and I was a domestic. For a few years I did that, and then I started relief caring. Then I decided to go full-time caring. So did the caring, and then a bit down the line I was asked to be a shift leader. And I'm still shift leader today.
A couple of months after it opened, I started as a carer, and then I've continued doing shift leading since then.
I suppose it's quite an honour really to still be here in the same job. I think nowadays, because folk really change their jobs quite a lot nowadays. So, and I've enjoyed working in Parklands, so I've never had the thought to move anywhere else.
It's a privilege to be here to honour the 30th anniversary.
Because Buckie is it's a nice little town.
Everybody kens
everybody. Kens everybody. So as I say, a lot of folk that you do know down the town, things like that, you see them up here as well, or they'll say maybe 10 years ago, oh my granny was here then, and things like that. So it's good for the community, I think, here having Parklands and Burrenbank.
Oh, aye.
When I came into this profession, I just came in as a domestic, and I only came to think, I'll just come for a wee job, just for a wee while, and till Christmas time, and then 30 years down the line, it doesn't feel like 30. It doesn't feel like 30 years. It really does not feel 29, 30 years that we've been here. So I think that says it all really. If you're happy at your job and
enjoy
coming, and you didn't feel the time is went on, I think that's really quite good for a business, I think.
What kind of value does that loyalty bring to the other staff and the residents and the management team?
I think it means we've got continuity. A lot of our long-serving employees have been promoted up the ranks and started at a level and have now ended up, as I say, we have an operations director, our area managers, and most of 6 of our managers are all people who've started at the bottom. And I think it is showing other people. Part of the thing we do a lot of training, but you can't beat sitting next to Jeannie, as it were, and being shown what to do by somebody else. It's far, far better than a chalk and talk routine or any sort of digital program on the computer. It's a one-to-one and it works very well. And that sort of permeates throughout the entire company. This is the way we'd like to do it, it's the right way, etc. And this is the way that we want you to do it.
I was widowed when I was 54, and I worked with the Taylor family. They had the newsagents, and I worked there with Ronald's mother and members of his family. And after I was widowed, Ronald sold the shop and that, and he said, maybe you would be good for Parklands, Margaret. Oh, I said, I don't know about that. I don't know if I could do that. Yes, you could. You've got the nature and not this. So here I came to Parklands, and it was the best thing ever I did. Just enjoyed it so much. Great memories, and as I say, the 20 years rolled in.
When you came to work at Parklands, Margaret, had you had any experience as a carer? What had been your background?
No, I had no experience of caring at all, and I thought, oh my goodness, am I going to manage this? But I just took to it like a duck to water. I always worked with the elderly because in my childhood I was brought up with my granddad, my great granny, and round about the doors was all elderly people. And I think that rubs off on you. And I just loved the job. And just thank God that I came to Parklands, and they're a great bunch, and he's very lucky, Ronald, to have such a good team behind him.
I think we've fostered a team approach, and it is difficult working in care because obviously there are happy times, but there's also sad times. But the staff are really supportive of each other, and also we're supportive towards the staff. So that they know there's always somebody to talk to if they need to chat it through. There's always somebody there to listen.
They sound very close-knit.
They are definitely, yeah. It's one big family.
Do you see it as a family?
Yeah, very much so. I think people, it's a difficult time when relatives have to move their loved ones into care. And I think it's important that we make that transition as seamless as possible. It's like them giving up their loved one to somebody else to care for. So it's important that we've got that family approach.
I'm Linda Begg. I've been here for 15 years at Glenilla. I've started as a domestic and I've worked my way up to shift leader. Glenilla's like my second family. When my kids were younger, they used to come in because our shift started at 8, so my kids used to have to come in, spend time here, and then they were taken across the road because it was just across the road. So yeah, so my kids have grown up here as well, so it's been a huge part of them. I lost my son just 2 years ago, and Parklands have been very supportive. We've had done fundraisers for him, and Parklands have been there and sponsored for me as well, and they've just been very supportive, everybody has. So it is very family orientated.
I'm Diane Mackenzie. I've been the community nurse with Parklands for 19 years, nearly 20 years.
I'm Caroline Garden. I'm a carer, and I've been here for 25 years before Parklands took over, run by Moray Council.
So what is it that's kept you here for all that time?
The challenge of the job. Every day is different. The community, working as a team member. Just it's a really good company to work for.
It's local, nice place, nice area. Follow the Parklands values. Trust and respect my work colleagues, and I would say it is a good place to work.
I did NHS and Parklands for quite a few years. Then I've been a manager, I've been a trainer, done various of different roles, all really worthwhile and challenging. It's been really good, a really good experience. And where we're given the challenge to do something different if we want to. I've done my SVQ4, so it's been really good.
You've both dedicated big chunks of your life to working in the care sector. So what is it about caring as a career and as a profession?
Looking after people, being there for their needs, their care, you know, interacting with them, and just the community, making their lives better.
A people person I am. I like to hear about their life stories and just like looking after them and making them have a smile on their face at the end of the day. That's rewarding for me when I go home.
To what extent is there a particular bond, do you think, between long-serving employees like yourselves? Because you've known each other for a long time as well as knowing Parklands for a long time. Does that create a closeness, do you think, a particular bond as colleagues?
Say, yeah, and sometimes you see folk leaving and then they come back.
Yeah.
They come back to and you think, oh, you've come back again, which is nice.
And a lot of folk, like I've known Caroline since we grew up together in the same village. So, you know, I think a lot of staff know each other from being really small right up until the adults have maybe gone away, but they've come back. Because that's what I did. I went away and came back. So, yeah.
And a lot of these people, I think, have passed it on to say, look, Parklands is actually a good place to work. We also pay very well, and our terms and conditions are far better than anybody else that I know, certainly in Scotland. And that, again, that's important to us. Starting in a small rural community, seeing that, you know, in many ways, that when we started in Buckie is a very low-wage economy, and, you know, for what we could provide, and if we can give more, we do.
What are the best things about working here? What keeps you here?
Being able to support the residents, they become part of your family and you want to do what's best for them. Support them like you would support your own family member. And I think that's very important because they put a lot of faith into us to look after them properly. You make up good friendships with the family as well and with the residents, which is important. And because it's local as well, and I am local. I've stayed in Keith all my days, so it's handy. My kids they've grown up now, so yeah. I enjoy it.
Does it feel like it's part of the community working here?
It is, yes. There is a lot of local people, local staff, local residents, and it is good to look back with some of the residents as well because they've probably known me a lot longer through my family and everything, so it is good to go back and talk about things like that as well. And
you've got a lot of shared experience with people.
Yes, you do, yeah. You can talk about local things that's happened and it's good for them because it takes them back. Maybe things that they've maybe lost and forgotten. So yeah, it's good to help them.
So I'm Corinne. I have been here for about 15 years and I'm a shift leader. So I just had my first child, so I was just looking for a local job. So I wasn't particularly looking for care. And then I came and tried it and loved it. So I'd been a carer for a lot of years, and I think for the past maybe 7 or 8 years I've been a shift leader.
Do you feel valued?
Yeah.
In what ways? How do you feel valued? How do they show you that they value you?
Well, they tell you. So you get told, you get regular supervisions and meetings, so they'll tell you all the good things that you've been doing. And they used to have like a fairy godmother type thing. Staff would put your name forward for a reason, so then somebody would get recognised for doing something like a bit of extra stuff.
That feel good?
Yep.
I'm Pamela Wright. I am one of the community nurses that go round all the homes, doing dressings, taking bloods, just the normal kind of nursery things. I started here when I was 13 in the pantry when it was only Parklands. Parklands was the only home there, so I started at 13 in the pantry and then went on to evening cleaning. I don't know how old I was then. Did care until I was 17 for a few months and then went to uni and then came back as a nurse 3 years later. So I've been here for nearly 18, 19 years as a nurse. It's very rewarding seeing people and helping them through. And I know we're looking after care of the dying, but it's a very rewarding thing to do, to give people their last few years, few months, just whatever, the best it can possibly be.
What brought you back?
Just, it works really well around family. I came back and got married and have had 4 children since then, so it works really well around my family. I also foster children, and they've been very kind around the fostering as well. My foster baby used to spend a lot of time in Burnbank because my granda was down there, so it was good, it was part of the home.
Right, well, I'm Beatrice Bell. I work in Parklands Care Home. I've worked here since it opened. I transferred here from the old Arry House, as a lot of people will remember. I'm a social care worker, and in that, I mean, we attend to the residents that stay here, all their personal care needs, all various other needs that they have. Actually, when I left school, I actually wanted to be a nurse, but as things unfolded, I saw a local job advertised in banking and applied for it thinking, oh well, if I don't get that, I'll go off to nursing. But I was accepted for that job, and I was there for 11 years actually, but always at the back of my mind I thought I quite fancy some form of caring or nursing. So when the opportunity arose and my children had gone to school, a job came up in the old Arry House. So I thought, well, why not just try for it? And it was night shift, and that just worked in with the hours with the boys. So I enjoyed it. And then gradually over the years, I sort of worked from night shift into day shift posts, which suited me better. And here we are 10 years later, and I'm still here. They've always been very supportive to me, and I think to all the staff, and they've got quite a diverse staffing of different people in that. And really, they just support you in so many ways. I feel that, in my work. Yeah, I enjoy it.
What do you enjoy about it, Alison?
Their stories, their lives are interesting. They've led a really interesting life. They're your family. They become your family as well as their own family becomes part of your family as well. I know it sounds daft, but it's just, we're one big family. But yeah, they have special things about them. You can't put your finger on it. It's, how do you put it? They're interesting. They've led an interesting life. Even with the dementia, you still see that person in there somewhere. It's just drawing them out. I do love it. Challenging, very challenging at times.
What's the difficult stuff?
Those that can't remember their families. That's the heartbreaking bit for some of the families. And you've got to try and explain to them that it's their mum's journey into a different world. But you'll never get into that world. Never. But yeah, it's tough on the families. And you try and explain to them what's happening. You try and console them when it's coming to the end as well. You just got to be there for them. It's the biggest part of it. Be there for the families.
What's nice, Alison, you've sat here and you haven't stopped smiling since you came in.
No.
You clearly...
I love my job. Absolutely love my job. I really do. And that's from the heart, believe you me. So yeah, I do. Challenging, but I do enjoy it.
When you love your job as much as we do, it doesn't feel like work. If you'd like to join the Parklands family, visit our website at parklandsgroup.com, have a look at it and see what you think. We are looking for awesome people.
Carecast is produced by Adventurous Audio.